Hi friends, thank you for coming to my channel. As always, I really appreciate you all coming and listening. To all my new listeners, my name is Amarie, and I started this channel because I was a stander for about 3 years, and I decided to kind of let everybody know what was going on during my journey for others that were going through the same thing I was going through. But along that journey, God restored my marriage. So I had took a little hiatus, but I came back because I decided that I needed to continue to share my story and let everyone know that it is possible, and I don't want anyone to lose hope. You have to continue to have hope and continue to have faith, because I was not expecting really my marriage to be restored. I mean, I was hoping and praying for it, but I was not really. So let's put it this way. I just wasn't expecting it to happen when it happened. I was just really in shock. But enough from me. Today I want to share a couple of things. I want to share testimony on behalf of one of my good friends, actually a best friend. But she passed away on Labor Day. So I've been away for a while due to, just dealing and healing from hearing about her death. So I felt that I had to share her story because she did want to share it before, but unfortunately now she's no longer here to be able to share it. But it's a couple of things in her story where, it's good to be patient. It's good to have faith. It's good to continue the hope. And it's also good to have forgiveness. And it's easier said than done, but when you're going through the journey, it seems like forever. But it's really not forever. Like I said before, it's always on God's terms, because God is still working on us as well as our spouses. So we have to allow God to do what he needs to do to fix us and to fix our spouse. So this past March, my friend, her and her husband celebrated 23 years of marriage. Now, they had a lot of bumpy roads, especially in the beginning of their marriage when they got married. I believe it was like in 1999 when they got married, because I was in the wedding, so I'm trying to remember. But I believe it was 1999. Of course, they were young. I believe they had to be about 21 because I was in college. So I want to say they got married about 21 years old, 21, 22 years old. I think 21. But, he was going off into the military, and he was in the military. He was already in Hawaii, but he came back to the United States to go ahead and get married. But then he went back after they got married, and I assume he was already seeing someone else. But he went back, got a tattoo of the girl name on his arm, not his wife, but the young lady he was messing with. My friend, found out about it, or he told her, I don't remember offhand, but she wound up packing all her stuff and flying out to Hawaii. And of course, we told her, like, oh, that's not a good idea. Like, that's the perfect time to see what he's really about. Well, anyway, he took years before he got rid of it. But I mean, they had a lot of ups and downs to the road. He continued to cheat on her. She continued to stay. They wound up having a child at that time. And she went out there, stayed out there in Hawaii. Some years later, they came back to the U.S., got stationed. He found somebody else was still cheating, and she just dealt with all of that. And then it was just a lot. But I believe some years later, he wound up moving out, and she was fighting for her marriage. She was standing, I want to say, a good 2 years. And she just kept saying, she's like, I want my husband, I want my marriage, I want our marriage to be restored. And she dealt with a lot. And, I'm not going to say that she was perfect. Nobody's perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us will ever have a perfect marriage because God did not make any of us to be perfect. So we can't expect anyone to be perfect. But we do have boundaries, and we do have things that we do have set and that we will take and we will accept. So with all of that being said, she was very patient. And of course she had days where she really broke down, and she learned after a while, talking to other people, they didn't understand her journey. Everybody seemed to give her bad advice. Honestly, at that time I was one of them. Not to say bad advice, but everybody has their different opinions. Oh girl, I would leave, I wouldn't stay, I wouldn't put up with him, he'll never change. Well, I want to let you guys know that I want to say lately, for the past 3 years, they have been great. He retired from the military, and he was really there for his family. And they had to forgive each other. And once they forgave each other and they came back close and their marriage was restored, their bond was stronger than ever. And I say this because you just never know. Life is so short. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful, and I'm sure her husband is too, that he was able to spend these good years with her before her passing. And I can only imagine how he's feeling right now, because me as a best friend, it really hurts. But it's easier said than done to forgive someone, but you really first have to forgive yourself, because a lot of times we have guilt, we have doubt, we have things like, well, maybe I shouldn't have did this, maybe I shouldn't have said that, well, maybe I said this to run him away, or maybe I said that ran her away, or maybe because of my infidelity, that's why he or she is out there doing what they're doing, or that's why they left. Don't blame yourself. Everybody has their own reasons and their own decisions that they make. So they could have done those things regardless if you were being honest, truthful, faithful, any of those things. It doesn't matter. Everybody has their own mind and they do what they want to do. A lot of times though, the devil will get into someone and change the whole dynamic of everything and leave you wondering why. How could they? Why did they? What could I have done better? We have to let all of that go and allow God to work on us and work on our spouse. We have to continue to pray for ourselves and pray for our spouses, because if we continue to worry, wonder, question God, it's just going to make the process longer. We have to really, really, really let go and let God do what he needs to do. And in the process, you have to continue to pray, have faith, have hope. A lot of times you do want to give up. I'll be honest, there were plenty of times where I wanted to give up. There were plenty of times my friend wanted to give up. But you just have to understand that this is a journey. This is a journey. Look at it as if you was a track runner, or if you was a basketball player. Look, let's use LeBron James as a prime example. Imagine if he would have gave up a long time ago. He could have used the excuse, well, I don't have a father in my life. I don't have a father figure to help take me to these basketball games or teach me how to play ball or how to be a man. Could you imagine where he would be now? Think about it. Like right now, he is a billionaire. He kept going. He still keeps going. You have to realize this is a journey. God does not want us to give up. He wants us to keep going. Keep going. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep having the faith. Keep saying my marriage will be restored. My spouse will be coming back home. My husband will be coming back home. My wife will be coming back home. My family will be a family again. We will be whole again through Jesus Christ. We have to continue to believe and have faith. If you do not, everything will fall apart. If you start believing or start thinking, well, I've been standing for 5 years, it's never going to happen. No. No, don't say that. Never say never. You don't know what can happen. Only God knows. It's a different story, if they're beating on you, or if they doing physical harm to you or your children. That's a whole different story. But if you know deep down inside that they're good people, and you know that they're not acting the way they normally act because pretty much it's the devil that's inside of them, that Satan is taking over, you need to pray him away. Pray the devil away. Keep praying, keep holding on, keep believing, keep having the faith. And sometimes a journey, it might be 6 months, it might be 6 years. You just never know. If that's what you really want, you got to fight for it. You have to fight for it. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I just wanted to share the story of my friend who is no longer here with us, but she was able to forgive her husband, and they were able to rekindle and restore their marriage, and they were able to share some wonderful years together before her passing. So I just want to let everyone know that life is short. If you're holding on to some type of guilt, if you're holding on to some type of anger, if you're holding on to some type of resentment, let it go. Life is short. Let it all go. Give it all to God. Let him take care of it. He's here for us. So please, forgive and let go. You will feel a lot better. A lot of that heavy weight will be lifted off of you, and you will see things change for the better. All right, guys. Happy Friday, and thank you as always for listening. Please, if I touched you today, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you all so very much. Have a blessed day.